Hey guys, this is Anastasia, and this is, I believe, day 7, or night 7 of Yule. Tonight is the night that I honor the sun. Just as a few days ago we honored the moon, Mani, and the darkness, today I honor Sunna, or soul, and the light. For me, my path is very much based on balance. That kind of is the thing that keeps hitting me over the head. So on that Nordic Wiccan blog post that I first kind of saw this 12 nights of Yule laid out for one of the first times, they also had a night for Mani and darkness, and a night for soul and the light. And so I liked that balance, and that's definitely something I kept up with my own traditions. So first off, I wanted to give a brief overview of soul, or Sunna, or Sunna. I've heard it kind of both ways. Sunna, or soul, is the Norse goddess of the sun. She is the one that drives the chariot across the sky. Her horses are Alsvin, or very fast, and Arvak, or early rising. She's pursued by the wolf Skull. It's believed that Skull will catch and devour her come Ragnarok. But the important thing to kind of remember in all of that is, even with the world's death with Ragnarok and the destruction, a new world will be reborn, and her daughter is said to continue to shine even brighter than her. So with Ragnarok being this terrifying, horrifying, I apparently have marbles in my mouth, terrifying and horrifying thing that Odin is constantly traveling for, wandering for, trying to kind of put off and stave off this end of days, that ultimately he knows he has no control over. There's also that other side to it. Yes, destruction will come. Yes, death will come. But on the flip side of that, there will always be that rebirth element. There will always be life after that. And I think that is an important part of the story to remember on this night especially, because that's kind of the whole point of Yule. At least, I shouldn't say the whole point of Yule. There's many layers to Yule, but that's the winter solstice in and of itself is the longest night of the year, and we're getting through this cold and desolate winter for some. And this is the night that we do honor the dark, but we're celebrating the rebirth of the sun. We're celebrating the fact that the light is going to return. We can see that on the horizon finally starting to come. And although it's the first day of winter, we know with the first day of the winter comes the promise of spring and summer, and the return of the sun in its glory and its power. So in her mythos, in her story, where she's constantly kind of she's constantly being chased by this wolf that she knows will end her at some point. She also knows there is going to be that rebirth, and it's going to be even better than what there is now. So I liked that element of her story. When it comes to the sun, a lot of times the sun is thought of as kind of this masculine energy. We have the moon as the feminine. The moon is the goddess. The moon is the great mother. Then you have the sun as the god. The sun as the great father of all. And the moon kind of takes care of us spiritually, whereas the sun takes care of our physical needs. And that's why it is such an important element, because, you know, without the sun, there is no warmth, there is no food, there is no life. It is the physical life giver, whereas the moon is kind of this mystic and magical and spiritually connected celestial body. So while that's true, that, you know, 9 times out of 10, if we're talking about the sun, it's usually kind of this masculine energy that we're thinking of. In Norse mythos, it is a girl, or a woman, just as Mani is, the moon is a man, Sol or Sunna or Sunna, however you personally pronounce her name, is a goddess of the sun. And although it's not something that's typically thought of, there are quite a few goddesses that are solar goddesses. You've got Beset, Aona, Sekhmet, Mawu. I know I just mentioned her in the other night's video as being a moon goddess, but she is also connected to the sun. And some see her as a solar deity as well as that lunar deity. She's both that physical and spiritual connection. Because she is Mother Earth. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And even Aphrodite, some do connect her as a solar deity. Or have in the past, I should say. In the past, she was seen as a solar deity, according to some. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. And again, I like the balance. I like that in this typically masculine energy and celestial body, we do have women and goddesses having connection to it. Thus showing masculine doesn't necessarily mean male, and feminine doesn't necessarily mean female. So, did I say that right? Masculine doesn't necessarily mean male, and feminine doesn't necessarily mean female. I hope I said that right one of those times. So what I wanted to share with you on this night is the solar candle that I made to honor the sun on this day. I have my full moon candle. I have a new moon candle. I have candles to honor the blue moon. I have candles, all sorts of moon. I even have little votive candles for each month's full moon. I have one for the wolf moon. I have one for the corn moon. I have one for the hunter's moon. But I realized very quickly I don't have a solar candle or a sun candle. So I thought I should remedy that. And this is what I came up with. It is, sorry, I'm holding my camera with my hand, and I know my hands are shaky and such, but this is that candle. So the anchor of this candle for the wick is a big citrine. Citrine is very much it is sunstone, obviously connects to the sun. For me, citrine I love because it is constantly charging itself. It is very much about positivity and banishing any negative forces, and you don't have to cleanse it. It is something that renews itself, much like the sun. Not scientifically per se, but the whole idea of it, you know, having its zenith of power in midsummer and then having its, you know, longest night of the year with the winter solstice. So I chose some symbols to kind of etch onto the candle. We have the Nordic rune Sol, which honors the goddess as well as the sun. It also is it's a great rune for success, for abundance, fertility, positivity. I definitely, if I need some positivity in my life, that is a rune that I truly connect with and utilize. Then I used the Witch's Rune of the Sun, which again, it typically honors the god. It's about abundance. It's about prosperity. It's about getting what is needed physically, nourishment, things of that nature, knowledge. And then here, you can't see it too well, I have the Ogum for oak, doer. While that doesn't directly translate like the Nordic rune of soul to sun, for me, the oak, and that's a personal correspondence, I'll grant you, the oak is very much a solar base. I believe traditionally it is a fire element, but which of course connects to the sun. But for me, I was sitting there looking at the Ogum and kind of trying to figure out, because I wanted both Nordic for my matron and Ogum as Celtic for my patron, and then the Witch's Rune to kind of symbolize myself and my ancestry, if nothing else. So I was looking at the Ogum for my patron for my Celtic connection, and as I kept looking and reading, and the more I thought of it, it's like, it's oak, it's doer. Just go back and put it on there. So that is what I went with. Each one is separated by a spiral. The 3 spiral. For me, it does definitely connect to the goddess. I think for me personally, a bit more than the god, but it is about the spiral of life. It is the birth, life, death, rebirth, over and over. It keeps going. You never really see the ending of it per se. Then I have my little honoring at the bottom. It wraps around the candle in the Theban alphabet. And then I dressed it with cinnamon oil, and as well as ground cinnamon. And then I put a little bit of gold dust on there, some gold glitter, because it's all about that brilliance. It's about that beauty. It's about that sun shining on. And then on the top, I kind of changed how I do. Typically what I would do is I would have an herbal blend to go around the top here, and then I would drip wax over that to hold it. And this time I kind of did it differently. I took 2 different kinds of wax that I put oil, essential oil in. So I have one that is orange essential oil. Orange I like because it's about prosperity, it's about abundance, it's about love, it's about happiness. During this time of Yule, you make pomaters, which are oranges with the cloves stuck in them. I just really, oranges and Yule go hand in hand. Oranges and the sun go hand in hand for me. And then I also had a wax that I put amber oil in. Amber, again, kind of like citrine. It's about positivity. It's about banishing negativity, pulling in that positive energy. And the whole point of this candle is to send that energy, to connect energy to both the sun and myself. Do honor to the sun, do honor to all that it gives, but also to connect to that celestial energy as well. So I do want that energy to be as positive as possible. So amber made sense. Orange and amber, I believe oranges as well. I believe orange is connected to the sun traditionally. I believe it's a fire element. I know amber is a fire element traditionally. But again, I know the further I go down on my path, the more I realize, regardless of what tradition says, I feel that orange is a fire element, and therefore that's what matters, because I'm the one that created the candle. It's for my personal use. So if orange and amber equal fire, which equals sun, that's what I'm going to use. And certainly in everyone's practice, if you look at orange and go, no, actually I connect it to water because it's about love and happiness and kind of those inner emotions. Dude, do it up. Make it be about water. That's what everyone's path is for, is finding our own connections. So then on the top here, I did sprinkle some ground cinnamon on top because I felt like I felt a little sad not having my herbs. But then what I did was I took little citrine chips and I made a little sun circle around in the wax as it was drying to kind of power this candle even more, to give a little bit more energy, because that again is what Yule is about for me as well. It's about sending that energy, revitalizing everything. We're still in the dark of the year, but we can see that light coming. Let's give it all we've got to kind of energize it and make it the best that it can be. We're also entering in the Monday New Year. We all want that positive juju and those good vibes to carry on into 2018. So yes, that is my candle. I'm going to do a little bit of a dedication and light it. And that is about all I have for that. I hope everyone is again having a great day. I hope everyone had a great secular Christmas if you honor that, but obviously a great winter solstice that happened last week. I just hope everyone's doing well. As always, sending my blessings and warm fuzzies to everybody. Blessed be. Night, guys.